Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bob Dylan Deep Dive. Weekly series here. Tried to keep it weekly, mostly has been, I think, where I go album by album through the discography of Bob Dylan. We are at album number 12 now of 39, I think I'm counting. Might be 40, I'm not sure. We'll find out by the end. So we are in 1973, the first of two albums that Bob released in 1973. Obviously, quite a long break after New Morning, which of course I really liked. If you haven't checked that video out, please do so. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, the motion picture soundtrack. Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is the first one in a while. No, of course, Self Portrait I hadn't heard before as well, but obviously I'd heard New Morning, and this one I haven't heard before. So I was intrigued to dive in. You start off with a main title theme, parentheses, Billy, which is pleasant. 6 minutes instrumental to open the album. I don't know. This is going to be a trend. Lots of instrumentals. Doesn't really flow as an album because it isn't really an album. It's more a collection of songs from this movie. There's some nice guitar parts, but it doesn't really do much for me. I like the percussion on Cantina theme, but nothing else about it really stands out. Billy One does a thing that I do really like, see Sound and Vision by David Bowie or Senior Video by The Replacements, where it starts off lulling you into the idea that it's going to be an instrumental, and then the vocals come in halfway through the song. I think it's really cool. Bob's voice is a real calming, soothing presence, especially you've waited 2.5 songs to hear him. The song itself doesn't leave too much of an impact on me, but I think it's nice enough. It's a good little song. I like Bunkhouse theme. The guitar interplay on it is really nice. It's pretty lightweight, but it's enjoyable. You get River theme, which is another one that doesn't really leave much impact. I don't really have much to say about a lot of these. People who have heard the album will probably understand. And even as instrumentals, these are so far away from the arrangements you get on New Morning and even Self Portrait, right? Like they sound like instrumentals waiting for lyrics to be recorded for them. You get the ramshackle country bounce of Turkey Chase, which is kind of cool, I guess. You get Knocking on Heaven's Door then, out of nowhere. One of his most iconic songs, just slap bang in the middle of this album. It's never been one of my favorite Big Dylan songs, but I still really like it. And it's definitely the best song on this album, even if it isn't one of my favorite Dylan songs. Final theme has some nice flute. Billy 4 is pretty cool. Enjoy the vocal delivery. I mean, it's one of the album's best songs, and I don't think that's a credit to the song. That's a detriment to the album, because if this was on New Morning, it would be one of my least favorites. And then Billy 7, not a very interesting way to close the album. Sorry, very run of the mill. So overall, not that enthused about this album. I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on this. Looking at the track ratings, of course, it may seem harsh because it would probably average out to higher than a 5. But like I said, it feels less than the sum of its parts. It's just a lot of songs that I never really want to go back to. And the best song, I think, is Knocking on Heaven's Door, which I never need to go back to because I know it like the back of my hand. And I like it, but I don't think it's top tier Dylan. And then my least favorites would be Cantina theme and River theme. But this album doesn't really leave much of an impression either way. There's nothing as terrible as If Dogs Run Free, or definitely nothing as terrible as this cover of The Boxer. But those albums also had really great songs, and this album doesn't really. So it's going to land at the bottom for me. Number 12 out of 12 out of 5 out of 10. So John Wesley Harding fans can celebrate a little bit that my harshness on that album is not felt as heavily. But thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Are there fans of this album out there? I would be surprised. There are probably people who like it more than me, but I don't see what there is here to love for any Bob Dylan fan. So next album will be his second album of 1973, Dylan, his covers album, which I'm equally apprehensive about, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And hopefully I will catch you soon.